the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., alongside Kaliko Yachts.
And I'm back on the road, working the election. And I know when it is always an election when I get called a son of a bitch. I get that villain heat, baby, that cheap villain pop.
Kaliko walking heel for Halloween.
I know. Who would have thought making people actually have to obey the rules makes me a heel. I'm getting that ref heel too, that Herb Hefner heel.
Screw the rules, play the game.
I know, right?
Well, it was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed J.S. Trudell on Monday, Kendall KX on Tuesday, and Damian Wild on Wednesday. Three incredible interviews, unique interviews, three different stories and paths in pro wrestling. If you haven't gone seen them yet, I definitely recommend going into the archives and checking them out. But always looking to the future. This Tuesday we have Big Mama, a NWA wrestler. She has won the NWA TV Championship and the NWA Tag Team Championships with Kenzie Page. She had a hard-hitting match against Mercedes Martinez. A chance occurrence with Awesome Kong. And even a match with Kaliko's favorite, Allison Kay. We talked about all of that, riding a motorcycle, legitimately being a mom, and a hell of a lot more. Definitely a really fun and cool interview. Definitely check that out on Tuesday. And this Wednesday, we have Richard Caravaggio. From Poland. He is currently a part of a tag team called the Royal Rebels. We talk about that. Winning the tag team championships, wrestling in Italy. He's a heel right now, and the crowd is kind of digging what he's doing. So we kind of talk about, crowd interactions and whatnot. We also talk about his time doing martial arts as well, and maybe an adversity moment in his career doing that as well. Definitely cannot recommend that one as well. Definitely check it out this Wednesday. Unfortunately, no time for clips right now. But on the 11th, we have Mark James. On the 12th, we got Sin Bodhi. On the 18th, we have Lucas Krause. On the 19th, we have Kirill Valilio. And on the 26th, we have Joe E. Legend. So, November, even though it's getting cold, heating up on Wrestling with Entertainment. Right, I think we're done putting ourselves over now.
We always are never done putting ourselves over. What are you talking about?
Well, somebody that can't seem to get himself over at this point is Andrade. Because it is a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the news. Andrade's back in the news. Whether you believe the rumor and innuendo, WWE is actually working on making a deal with AEW that Andrade could work AEW sooner if they lend them Edge for John Cena's last match. I mean, that's a fantastic strategy on their part if that's actually what's happening. Obviously a lot of people want to see John Cena wrestle Edge one last time. I don't know how true that actually is. I think Andrade's just gonna go into wrestling purgatory until that contract is up. But what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, I think that's the case. That I don't see. I'm trying to think. What? I mean, it's a smart move. Like, yeah, we'll let it slide if you give us edge. And then the question is, how likely are they to give up edge? And how badly does AEW really want Andrade on TV? So those are the two biggest questions that needs to be answered. And we won't be able to answer them. Somebody else is going to have to answer that. How bad do you want Andrade on TV?
I think that's
on a scale of 1 to 10.
I think that's Tony Khan's question.
Question to answer, yeah, exactly. Like,
I
do you deal with the devil? Is it worth it? Do you want it? How bad you want it?
Right. I mean, when Andrade did make his return to AEW, like, it did seem like they were starting, a program between him and
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega. So, I mean, obviously all of that has gone away since he left. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put it past AEW or Tony Khan just to say, okay, well, we'll leave it till he's allowed to wrestle. Because, I mean, he's done that with a lot of wrestlers, like Russo, Ricky Starks. Like, he's not opposed to leaving people in catering until he's ready to use them. Whether it's a contractual thing or not. You know what I mean?
Right. That is the case. And AEW don't technically they feel like they got hosed. So in essence, they could look at this as like Andrade lied to us. Fuck them. Fuck the guy.
From what it's all kind of in the air right now. There's conflicting reports. Did Andrade get fired from AEW? Hasn't he got fired from AEW? Is there a thought process from WWE if they're going to bring Andrade back? That people have, kind of denounced that rumor already, saying that there's no chance of him coming back to WWE right now. But
yeah, why would they? They got 10. I mean, they got enough, and I'm pretty sure the guy that they just re-signed is going to take the place of that guy, Santos. Santos is pretty much going to get his shit back. So I think he's taking the spot where it would have been him, right? I mean, that would only make sense, right?
I mean, I would hope so.
So, I mean, makes sense to me.
I would say that this was maybe the only scenario where we could actually see Edge return to fight John Cena. But do you really see Tony Khan making a deal like that he would swap talent with WWE, after he's been so critical of WWE over the past, 6-7 years?
And that's one part, and then the other part is how quick is Edge's contract up? Because that's something we don't know. Because remember, the whole rumor is his contract should be up any day now.
That is another good question. But you don't necessarily know because AEW might have... Because he was injured. So they could have put a freeze on his contract as well. So it is very much all, very technical things. while we might not see Edge in a WWE ring anytime soon, it is pretty much all but confirmed that Chris Jericho is coming back to WWE. And some people are saying as soon as tonight on Saturday night's main event. I would say maybe hold off until, John Cena. I mean, that would be another really good, John Cena's final match, Jericho and Cena. Um, but, I mean, he is where he's supposed to be, I would say, when it comes to Chris Jericho. He had his nice little run in AEW. It was successful. He got it off the ground. But he needs to be home now. You know what I mean?
You just say, get the fuck home. I mean, what is home to him? Because home to him, he's been everywhere. So it's kind of like he really doesn't have a home, quote, end quote, right? Because originally, I mean, he started in Mexico, started in Canada, went to Mexico, but he's been all over. So it's like, it's not like he's the... I mean, it's not home, but it's basically he's trying to end it with a bang, and it's going to be interesting because you also got AJ already on the end of his run, so I guess they're trying to do a 2-for-1 here.
I don't think that it's a 2-for-1. I think it's just happens coincidence that they're all kind of coinciding with each other. But I mean, that's obviously a match that we could see in the future, AJ and Jericho. Um, you know, when I say home, I mean, yes, he started in Canada, he walked, Mexico, Japan, he was a world traveler. But, I mean, he did all of those things to get to WWE. WWE was always the goal because WWE was, the mecca. So yeah, I would say that it's home for him. Um, I'm not sure what a retirement tour looks for Chris Jericho. He kind of always seemed against that. He always said, "I'm not going to have something like John Cena. I'm just going to be kicking and screaming, and that'll be the last you've seen of me." So I don't know exactly what that'll look like, but I mean, I would say a Hall of Fame induction is definitely an exclamation point on his career. Which is kind of funny if they do it this year. Obviously, Stephanie McMahon is going in as well, so it kind of coincides with, a rival of his. Kaliko?
I
Ah,
was just trying to get rid of the good old overhead announcement thing that always pops off. Right.
respawn.
Respawn. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, what does Jericho have left to prove at this point? He's probably the only person I mean, the only place he didn't go to was TNA. So it's weird he's been everywhere except there.
Which is funny,
And
because
that's
they did try to get him at one point.
because I mean, this is the guy who's literally willing to go anywhere, but he didn't go there. Like he had a limit to where the hell he would go.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
anywhere but there.
Anywhere but there, exactly. But I mean, so I mean, it'll be a good send off, and I think it's just trying to get the. I think it's a TKO thing if he's going to actually retire, do a 1 year just a retirement tour, and it would make sense for him and AJ to have those retirement tours just running simultaneously.
Right. And like I said, I don't know what a retirement tour looks for like Chris Jericho, because he
If it won't be Cena's retirement tour, that's for damn sure.
right.
It will. It'll be. That's the other question. Because here's the thing. He's a WWE made him, but he started off as a WCW dude. So is he good? I think he's going to be not as good big as Cena, but better than Bill Goldberg. So we do have a heaven and a hell. So John Cena is practically heaven. It ain't gonna happen. And Bill Goldberg, I mean, honestly, that was actually pretty good for him, and he claims it's hell. So I would think AJ and Jericho would be on the in between of those two. I mean, considering the fact that Jericho practically was the title record holder for the most Intercontinental Championship reign, and
He technically still is.
so I mean, you can't knock the guy. So I mean, so he'll be in that upper echelon. I mean, if they're treating AJ right and giving him the whole thing, so I wouldn't be surprised Jericho gets a little better. So both of them will be out on even terms.
You know,
They'll swap.
Say what you
Even out.
know about, Goldberg's retirement match. We can't necessarily judge John Cena's retirement tour until we get to that last match in December. That's just how I kind of feel about it.
That is true. I also think that match is going to be. He's going to get more than his money's worth. Just saying.
We will see.
Just saying. He's going to get the greatest send off this side. Because keep in mind, he's getting something Hogan didn't even really get.
Yes and no. When I don't even remember hearing Hogan getting a retirement match. So
That's my point. Hogan didn't even really get a send off match like that.
But Ric Flair did, and we know what happened there.
Oh yeah, the bar. The bar send off match, but then he fucked it up by going right back into it 3 weeks later. So
Right.
So it don't even matter.
Because he took
pulled
the
old
TNA deal.
old Harry. Hey man, shit! You got bread talks, money talks, bullshit walk.
Especially when you have 6 ex-wives.
I don't think he was paying alimony for all of them.
That's a good question. he makes it seems like he did, so we will see what happens there. Looking to the future, the daughter of Eddie Guerrero, his youngest, has started training at Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. So I guess Dom is gonna get another sister in pro wrestling soon as well. So both his sisters. Like, legitimately, I do wish her well. There has been a lot of controversy and like just overall weird things that happen around her pertaining to her other sister and her mother. Maybe some mental health issues as well. I could not tell you, exactly. But, she does seem like she is in a good and healthy place, and that this is something that she really wants to do. You can't necessarily get any better of a trainer than Booker T. So I think that she's in good hands, and I think that there's a really good potential that we see what we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time, and that is a Guerrero on WWE TV. What say you, Kaliko?
I just hope that she's not trying to be bogged down by trying to be a person trying to fulfill a legacy rather than just a person that's just carrying a legacy, right? Like carving her own path within the legacy of Eddie Guerrero rather than thinking that she has to go in and be Eddie Guerrero day one.
Right. Well, I mean that was what caused Soul, her Eddie's eldest daughter, to kind of crash because he felt that pressure of upholding that legacy. It kind of you don't necessarily know because it kind of goes but either way. You either like these second door gens, they either you know they don't do well or they do incredibly well. So I feel like Charlotte and Dom are the best examples of that right now. You know, Dom had a really big hill to climb when it came to his legacy. His father's legacy, and he carved out his own identity, personality. That it then it's a part of his father's legacy as well, but it's his own separate thing. So hopefully, like I said, Booker T is a fantastic, trainer. Hopefully he'll be able to kind of get that through her head that, she doesn't need to be Eddie Guerrero. She needs to be her own person.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. But also show her own personality, right? That's the other thing. Because here's the problem: like Charlotte was essentially Ric Flair's daughter. In fact, they didn't even give her the name Flair until she earned it, right?
Right.
Dominic, I mean, he was always Dominic Mysterio, but what he was able to do is use the tragedy of his father to get, or what he calls quote unquote tragedy, to get himself like booed, and now people cheer him even though nothing's changed about him, but that's a whole other arc. So, but he also like, I guess he niched his own Gen Z twist on it. It's a Gen Z aura that he carries that is like unlike anyone else in that company, right?
Right.
And her, we just hope that she be her and do her things, instead of having to, do Guerrero things, but also put your own twist in it. So let's hope that's the case.
Well, not being their best version of themselves, Amazon Prime, they've been hosting a lot of AEW pay previews as of late. And I believe this last upcoming WrestleDream, they actually had to refund some people's money because the feed ended before the show actually ended. So before Darby and Moxley had their finish, there was no feed. It got cut. Which obviously
That ain't good.
I mean, yeah, you watched the 4.5 hour paid preview. You wanted the finish, and you didn't get the finish. uh,
Brother.
I don't. From what I'm hearing, other places didn't have a problem with it. It everybody else got to see the full show. It was on Amazon Prime's behalf. So you can't really blame AEW, but you could also say, well, they could have maybe fit the show into, a little less of a, like I said, 4.5 hours. I mean, they could have cut it a little bit sooner, so Amazon Prime could actually get the finish rather than literally run it to literally the last second. But like I said, they did offer refunds. I don't know if this is a thing that's going to continue. I think this is the second pay-per-view that ran short on Prime's part. I mean, if that's the case, that's something that they need to fix. No.
I mean, yeah, because I got Prime and I watched the NFL, and if they can get that shit straight for the NFL, they better get that shit for the shit that they're making people pay $50, $60 for, or So that's an Amazon thing. Get your shit together, Bezos. But then again, maybe he's spending too much money on payroll, and that's why he's trying to cut 30,000 people.
So, I mean, if they only have, like, the NFL, I feel like that's something that it's not a new concept that they're doing, live, sports. They should have been able to handle it.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, motherfucker, you can handle it. I don't know what we doing, but you better get that shit together.
Well, speaking of WrestleDream, we will be doing a full review of that show in a little bit because I did not watch 4 hours of that shit. Just not talk about it. It was in St. Louis, Missouri. Missouri has a athletic commission for people that don't know. And Darby and Moxley.
Yes, they do.
Darby and Moxley's I Quit match was cut drastically to fit Missouri's athletic commission laws. Apparently you cannot.
Fine. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so apparently you can't bleed on intentionally. So they had to, make fake blood so it kind of looked like they were bleeding and not actually bleeding. So what I'm hearing, because despite being, what it was, and we will talk about the match, the Missouri Athletic Commission saved Darby and Moxley's lives because I legitimately thought that somebody was in this match, that somebody was going to pull a gun and that somebody was going to get shot. That was how this match was going to end.
That's the other way it could end. Somebody gets shot.
Yeah. So,
but that would be some St. Louis shit because, just saying. But yeah, it makes sense.
But I was right on one thing. It's not the end of Darby and Moxley. Somebody will get shot. Blood and Guts has been announced. Dead Riders versus Darby and the Conglomerate. So yeah, a lot of people are going to get hurt and injured in that match. It is called Blood and Guts for a reason.
Why? Would be the question.
Because they didn't get to use their forks and their knives and their tasers and their sticks, their skewer sticks and pizza cutters and everything else that you don't need in a pro wrestling match.
No, I'm just, when I say why, I'm just thinking more like, it really, what is it fitting? Because Usually you would think the I Quit match is the blow off. You would have thought the last two matches were the blow offs. But they're like, no. We ain't going out like that, son.
This is what I was telling you.
So it's
I literally told you.
No. I mean,
that this was gonna happen.
No, I know you told me, but it just was like, it's like, okay, you would think when someone gets put in a body bag, it's over.
And set on fire.
You would have, and set on fire, it would have been over. Nah, Darby. This is the problem I hate with those things, because when those matches occur and yet Moxley and Allen show up 5 days later, why the fuck would I believe anything, right?
Right. Don't you remember that match that Swerve and Hangman Page had the first time around, and then you said Swerve was literally like at a basketball game like 2 days later, and he just had like a small bandage on his head?
Yes, that's what pisses me off about it, because like, okay, we get, and this is where it insults me as a fan, because granted, I know that the whole thing is once you get in the ring, you're, more superhuman and can absorb more than the average man or whatever the case may be. And I get that. I totally get that 1,000%. But when you're having matches like that and someone is quitting or going, the whole point is to go away. Those matches were there for the reason for them to go away. Why in the hell would I believe the Death Riders are on a death nail if Moxley ain't gone nowhere?
Right.
But here's the problem, and this is another problem that I keep telling. Moxley's there because he's the most reliable guy to show up regardless. Most likely to show up to work. His reliability is his gift and his curse.
You can rely on him to show up, but you can't rely on him to do good shit, because he's going to do the shit that he wants to do, not the shit that you need him to do.
The shit you want him to do versus the shit you need him to do. I could make the argument he's doing the shit Tony Khan wants him to do. Otherwise, Tony Khan wouldn't allow it.
I mean, if that was true, AEW would be a very different place, in my opinion. Tony lets people do whatever they want. And
No,
as long as...
I don't think so.
I mean, as long as it's not, costing him money, and when I mean costing him money, offending, sponsors, things like that, he's fine with it. He lets them do it. When did you ever hear Tony Khan say, or wrestlers say, I had this idea and Tony Khan rejected it? I thought it was a good idea, but AEW gave me the no-go.
That's a good point. And I think if Tony Khan really wanted him to stop it, he would tell him to stop it.
Do you think Tony Khan has enough backbone to actually tell his biggest star, I'm not digging this, let's do something different?
His paycheck, his bank account says he's got enough backbone to do it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I do not know about that. But yeah, we're getting, we are getting blood and guts with the men. I thought it was going to be the women this year. Obviously, we're getting two blood and guts matches. So more blood, more guts. Um, and you thought that all the blood and guts ended yesterday on Halloween. But I digress. Um, on a not so nice note, Mike Rotunda had a heart attack. Um, we do. It was reported that he was in bad condition in hospice. His family has confirmed that that's not necessarily the case, and getting he is in recovery. So here's to Mike Rotunda making a speedy recovery.
Exactly, but I just can't stand when the internet just be trying to kill people early.
Yeah. Um, a I don't even know how to say this. This is a very bizarre little note. There was an idea pitched by a writer for Brey Wyatt to have met um, notorious killer Charles Manson. Um, if you believe the rumor and innuendo, this writer had said that Manson himself had found came across some footage of Brey, liked what he saw, and wanted to meet Brey himself. The writer was into the idea of seeing Brey meet Charles Manson. From what he was saying, Brey was not against the idea, but WWE flat out rejected it for obvious reasons.
And even Vince got fucking limits. Come on, bro. Jesus. Vince will fuck bitches like crazy and shit on them. Allegedly. But he ain't dealing with the Manson shit. Just, man.
Yeah. There's some things that there's some lines you just don't cross, and clearly.
And Vince even knows. At least Vince knew.
Yeah.
They could have been worse. That shit could have been way worse.
Well, hey Vince, we want Brey Wyatt to meet Charles Manson. Okay, pal? Who's Charles Manson? He's a cult leader that killed multiple people in the 70s. What the fuck?
I think he knew who. I think he knew who he was. I think he knew like he wants you to meet Charles. I don't think so, pal.
That don't work for me, brother.
That don't work for the stock price, brother.
I could even see Vince go for it. What the fuck? Why are we even talking about this?
When Vince is gonna yell, "What the fuck?" That's when you know it's bad. That's when you know it's bad. When Vince yells, "What the fuck?" So hey.
Speaking of Vince, but not the Vince you're thinking, Vince Russo has invested and is now an investor in Gigolo Wrestling, the Insane Clown Posse's promotion that's been running for quite a long time. And he will be writing their TV. I think it's on YouTube. So their YouTube series, their YouTube channel, he'll be writing the storylines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, going forward. So I mean, if you like, Viagra on the pole matches and, just on a pole matches in general, then yeah, you're gonna really love that promotion nowadays. What are your thoughts on Vince Russo coming back to pro wrestling, essentially?
I mean, whatever happened to my guy who was like, hello, all my gigolos and gigolettes. I feel like I would be the one that used to jump off shit. Don't try it at home. Whoop, whoop. Oh my God, his name is on the tip of my tongue. I feel like Vince Russo would try to find his ass and bring him back. For all the gigolos and gigolettes. Whoop, whoop. And you don't even know. I mean, I'm telling you, I forgot his damn name. He even made appearances at wrestling shows. At cons. I can't think of his goddamn name. He'd be like, do not try this at home. Whoop, whoop. And then he'll jump on a shit of Legos and fucking kill his ass. And he jumped on some thumbtacks and it'll fuck his ass up. Or he'll jump on... I mean, I'm pretty sure there's nothing he couldn't jump on that would have fucked him up. So I loved it. The Juggalos and Juggalettes. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, I don't know if he's coming back, but Russo is there to stay. Honestly, I don't think that this is going to change anything. I don't think it's going to make them like a mainstream wrestling company or anything. We might...
No. Vince wants a check. Duh.
I don't think he even wants to check. I think he just wants to play. Vince has always been the type of person that wants to get his content out there. And this is a way for him to make wrestling content, something kind of relive his glory days, and feel good about it.
The glory days? No. What? Just so he can stick it to Jim Cornette that he's relevant in wrestling? I don't know. What the fuck is that gonna solve?
Did you not hear the interview he just did with Maven?
No.
Yeah, so Vince Russo actually put Jim Cornette over. Like he said, he was such a great character in pro wrestling, and he was so good, and working with him was a delight. And he's one of, Jim Cornette. He's one of the nicest people Vince Russo has ever worked with. He had a glowing review. But I'm listening to this and I'm like, don't you have a restraining order against him because you're terrified that he's coming at you with a baseball bat or something?
I mean, tongue in cheek, man. You gotta say it so that way they can't use it against you in court. That's all it is.
Or, more accurately, it's a swerve, bro.
Quick little heel turn.
Face turn.
I get it. Little tongue-in-cheek heel turn right there. I get it.
Well, legit, I'm looking forward to hear what Jim Cornette's comments about that's gonna be, because he's gonna blow a fucking gasket.
He always does, and then they'll put it in a YouTube cartoon, and
Yeah, everybody wins.
We all win.
Yes. Alright, that will conclude our coverage of the news.
So, Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low-calorie, no-sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar-filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy focus and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off-brands out there that are presenting low-quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high-quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with AEW WrestleDream. It was...
Yay!
It was... Are you trying to get yourself typed out, Calico?
I am totally not trying to hype myself up for a pay-per-view that was just so fantastic. Why would I?
Yeah. It was...
There you go. Good. See? So good. So great. So unpredictable. Just couldn't tell who was going to win. It was 50-50 toss-ups at every match.
For our viewers out there, if you are a fan of AEW, I would advise to turn back now. It was 2 weeks ago, in St. Louis, Missouri. Took place at Cali Fiesta Arena. That's totally wrong. I don't fucking care. It was 2 weeks ago.
I don't fucking care.
It was 2 weeks ago, and the only reason we're reviewing this is because I did not watch four and a half fucking hours of this not to talk about it on the show. So
who gives a fuck? Like nobody cares. Well, I didn't waste my time watching this shit not to talk about it.
You are correct, sure. And let's get into it. The first match out was a match that started on the pre-show. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Hardwood with Stokely Hathaway defeated Speed Testicle, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight in 13 minutes. It literally, while the pyros was going off, they were wrestling. And it went 13 minutes. I don't necessarily know how much of the match was actually on the pre-show, but what I saw of, the actual match that was on the actual pay-per-view, because I'm not watching 2 hours of fucking pre-show, it wasn't bad. I mean, it's FTR knows how to work a good tag team match. They always have. Like, just give them up the opportunity to do so. And I felt like they delivered a solid opener, even though the match already started. It was a weird way to start the paid preview. But what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, yeah. What am I gonna do with it? I mean, it's the AEW way, right? So I mean, yay! It was so awesome. Great match. 5 stars. I'm lying my ass off. I don't know why. I'm lying my ass off.
You,
Honestly, it was just something to get the crowd happy and into it, and I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, cool. They like it. I love it. Right?
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I mean, usually you're a lot more optimistic about AEW pay-per-views. This one really hit a nerve for some reason, no?
Well, the thing is that, like, a lot of the matches were rematches that we just saw. They just changed it. The only one that it made total sense, I mean, other than Joe. So Joe and Hangman was fresh. Got it. Tony Storm getting the one-on-one rematch made sense.
Right.
Everything else, okay. What for?
Well, how many stars do you give FTR Mike Bailey?
I mean,
Jet Speed, I should say.
it's FTR, so they're always gonna give you a good 3. So we'll just stick with a good 3. How about that?
You know, I couldn't agree more. 3 stars. Alright, I'm assuming that Meltzer obviously reviewed this, no?
Of course, and that's why I was sitting up here trying to do some goddamn research.
Getting the getting those good 5-star reviews ready.
There we go. We got it, and it's time for guess that rating.
Okay, so he does kind of like FTR. I will say that he likes FTR.
Yes.
So
FTR the Bucks, he gets a heart. You know this.
I will say he gave this 4.25.
Higher.
4.5.
4.5.
Okay, I'm dialed in. We're having a good time. Alright, I think that this was supposed to be the proper opener. Jamie Hayter versus the Kalakala. Jamie defeated her in 15 minutes, 35 seconds. Everybody was banned from ringside. This just kind of seemed like a random match you'd see on Dynamite. So, and again, this was a 4.5 hour paid preview. I needed something to
Yeah,
see.
bringing that, I told you, man, bringing that, work pail. Time and a half, overtime.
Yep. So I did that good skippity skip of this match. What say you, Kaliko? Did you actually watch the match?
I mean, the match was okay. You would have thought Thekla got the win, but Hayter getting the win was kind of a shocker to me. It seems like Thekla supposed to be this big signee, but yet she's like catching some of these L's. So yeah, it's kind of. I guess they're giving her that welcome to the big show, pal.
I mean, she's in a major storyline at least, and she's featured in a main she's being featured on paid preview when there's nothing, attached to it. So they clearly see something there. What it is, I don't necessarily see yet, but I guess we will. How many stars you give this one?
It was a good 3.
Give it 2 fast-forward bars.
Oh Lord.
Now we have Jurassic Express, Jack Perry the Platypus, and Longosaurus defeating the Young Fucks, Matt and Nicholas Jackoff in 21 minutes, 35 seconds. The crowd seemed into it at first. The music is over as hell. And it was very, it's what you would necessarily expect from the Young Bucks and even Jack Perry at this point. It started out okay. It went, but this could have been like 10 minutes less and could have had the same impact. It just kind of kept going and going and going. And I mean, again, you could have done the exact same thing, and even like 6 minutes less, you could have, you know, done the exact same thing, and it wouldn't have made any difference. It's just, they wanted to have a long match, so they had a long match. And
Pretty much.
that definitely takes away my enjoyment, because if it just goes on and on and on, then, you're not, oh, I can't wait to see who wins this match, is when is this match going to end? And I did get to that point. But what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, I get what they were trying to do because they're trying to build the story of the whole. It was trying to tell the story of Jack Perry now no longer dealing with the Bucks and so on and so forth. So I get what they were going for in it, right? So that part I'll give them. It was them trying to tell somewhat of a story.
As much
But
of a
it's hard.
story as the Young Bucks could get over.
Right, because it's like, they do tell some, so they can tell a story, but sometimes that flippy shit get in the way, and that's, so.
They can get in their own ways with
Right.
their mentality.
Well, I wouldn't say their mentality, it's just, that's the style.
Yes, but I mean, you know that you can tell a story, but you kind of go default to what you know, and it's the flippy stuff. You know what I mean?
When have you ever said, I can't wait to watch the Bucks for them to tell a story?
Um. Well, I mean, if you're going to be on national TV, you have to tell a story. What they were doing in New Japan and Ring of Honor, it's more forgivable because it is internet wrestling, and they did actually have storylines when it came to being the elite, which were all completely blown off at the original All In. So I mean, they do know how to tell stories. They just don't know kind of how to pay those stories off. Does that kind of make sense?
I mean, the only story I remember paying off was the one they just went through.
Uh, the
With Swerve and Osprey.
I mean, yeah, true. But I mean, I didn't. I mean, it's a story. I wouldn't say that it was a story that I wanted to see, really badly. But I guess it is something that they did.
Yeah, so I mean,
Cool. Hello.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I was the one that actually responded this time. um. How many stars you give this one?
I give 3.5. I mean, I'm not gonna knock them.
2.5. I'll knock them.
Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Uh, the Ouchie Business, Robert Lashley, Benjamin Shelton, and VIP defeated The Demand, Rick Lachey, Bishop Khan, and Tia Leone. It determined the number one contenders for the AEW Trios Championship. The match lasted 13 minutes and 30 seconds. I needed something to speed up, and this was it. So, yeah, did
Yeah,
not
damn,
watch.
you just did a lot of speed up, didn't you?
I mean, again, it's a 4-hour show. But what say you? How? What did you think of this match?
I guess that's kind of revenge for the Hurt Business, right? I mean, just hey, we're the number one contenders, and we finally beat the team that's been a thorn in our ass for like ever.
Yeah. How many stars do you give this one?
Um, 3.25, because like once again, it was kind of an extension, and they just added a stake where we kind of figured her business would get back, but okay.
Right. Hard Business got their heat back. So yay? Question mark.
Yay.
Oh, we completely forgot about Meltzer. Uncle
Well,
Dave.
Meltzer didn't even rate that match, so you ain't got to worry about
The
that.
fuck? Was he taking a shit on that match?
Threw me off too. I was like, wait a minute, what?
But the last, did he do Jamie Hayter Tekla and Jurassic
Of
Express?
course.
Okay.
Of course he did, though. I mean, of course he's doing the Bucks. You really think he's not going to do the Bucks?
Yeah. But I mean that explains it. Right after the Young Bucks matches, he was too drained from coming as much as he did. That it makes complete sense. Okay, so Tekla Hayter, I think he would give it maybe a 3.5.
Lower.
3.
Higher.
3.25.
That good old quota.
Damn it, you quarter. Okay, so the Young Bucks is in this next match. 4.5.
Higher.
4 7/5.
4 7/5.
Gotcha. Alright, AEW TNT Championship. Kyle Flatulence defeated Mark Briscoe in 24 minutes 25 seconds. I mean, I love Mark Briscoe, but I don't feel like I ever thought that he was going to win this match. It was just kind of a match to get, Fletcher, a win. I mean, I think it was a good match, but again, way too long of a match. What say you, Kaliko?
That's essentially what it was. You kind of knew that that wasn't going to be the case. You kind of knew he wasn't going to win because it was just meant to give what's the word? Give Fletcher back get him back on track, pretty much.
Right. And I mean, I think it was I want to say it was successful. Maybe it wasn't, but I mean, he won, and again,
There it is.
it was too long, and
pretty
that
much
was
it.
kind of it.
You won, and that's about good as it's going to get. Yeah.
How many stars?
I mean, the fact that we knew that was going to happen, how could I give it anything less than a 3?
I'm actually agreeing with you. 3 stars. Alright. Now, Uncle Dave. Kyle is kind of his boy. He's kind of digging what he's doing right now. 4 stars?
Oh, Fletcher's good. Now, Fletcher's good. Higher. But, yeah, and Fletcher's good. I'm not going to say he's not, so there you go.
4.5.
Higher.
4 7/5.
4 7/5.
Nobody's come getting that elusive fifth star yet, but we know it's coming.
Oh, oh, it's coming. May not be coming where you think it's coming, but it's coming.
And that's what got it a fifth star. uh AEW Women's World Championship match. Chris Statlander defeated Toni Storm in 16 minutes 35 seconds. This was a good match. Chris Statlander is such an underrated wrestler. She had a really good match with Toni Storm, and it was the perfect length that both girls did what they needed to do and the way that they needed to do it, and it didn't seem like it was overdoing it. So, yeah, everything worked in this match for me. What say you, Kaligo?
Well, Styles makes fights, and I think this is probably the second biggest girl Tony has fought since Megan. You would have thought Megan would have had this kind of a match with her, like in that same vein. With that being said, the right person won and it gives Statlander the credibility of and is to give AW credit. I like how they had Statlander win the belt without Tony really getting tossed around and then coming back with the rematch and going, okay, now you know who is the dominant person in the division. So kudos.
And I do feel like that this is a Tony Storm call is to do this, not necessarily a Tony Khan. I will say when it comes
you kind of you're right in a sense, because remember when Tony cut that promo and shitted on everybody? She shitted on everybody except Chris Statlander. All she said with Chris Statlander was "one a woman." So that's about it.
Tony Storm, when it comes to women's wrestling, has been very giving when it comes to a lot of the things that she's done. Like, she'll take an L when she needs to, and she has taken L's. She just hasn't taken L's when it, obviously mattered, when she has to, defend the championship.
When the chips are down.
Right. So, kudos for her to be that beatable champion that you don't think is actually going to get beat. That actually got beat by Chris Statlander. So, I mean, good on her for that. I like this match, and I think it makes Chris look like a big, a bigger star, and nothing. Tony doesn't lose anything. She's still Tony Storm.
Oh yeah, she don't. But the best part of it was when Tony was yelling, "Just kill me." Because honestly, that probably did more for Chris than anything. Because it just showed that Tony was kind of at the wit's end, right?
Right.
Like, I just can't figure this motherfucker out. Which, in essence, made her feel more dominant. That's why I say, you gotta give him some props. I gotta give him some golf claps, right?
How many stars do you give this one?
I'd say a 4. I'm not ashamed to give this a 4.
I agree. A 4. So, after the match, obviously, Chris gets a big, nice little, celebration that was interrupted by Mercedes. And, Mercedes literally just tells her, go away now. I'm going to defend my championship. And I hated that because Chris just left the ring. And it felt like Mercedes just bitched her out. And while Yes, she had to. She wrestled Mina Shirakawa for the TBS Championship, and the Ring of Honor, the interim Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship. Mercedes won the match in 16 minutes 10 seconds. I was obviously legally obligated to watch this match because Shirakawa was in it, but I
Oh
could.
God, which means it's a 5-star for you.
No, it's not a 5 star.
Okay, all
She
right,
is
thank
not.
God.
I like Mina, but she is no Lola Vice. Um, but I will say that I couldn't necessarily. I mean, it was just a. There was nothing really to grab onto. I mean, you kind of knew that Mercedes was going to win, and I wasn't
Yes.
necessarily over the fact that she bitched Chris Statlander out, and the match went too long for me to even kind of get over that fact. So it kind of the match was kind of doomed from the start, in my opinion. But
Really?
I will say this: they did bring it around for the end because when Mercedes was holding the championship and Chris Statlander actually came back and said, you didn't bitch me out, I'm bitching you out, and beat her up. That is what made me, really get behind Chris even more. So, I mean, they did do the right thing in the end, in my opinion. So, I said a lot of things. What say you?
But I mean, that I kind of figured that was gonna happen because Chris is not a person that's a talker. She about that action.
Right.
So that's why okay. Even if Chris didn't do that stuff at the end, to me it made sense because Chris is not about the yappity yap. Even every person she's been with, she doesn't really do the yappity yap.
Um, I'm trying to think of a Chris Statlander promo at this point.
That's my point. I mean, Stokely was talking for it. I mean, I'll put it this way. I'm not saying that she won't cut a promo. I'm just saying her character lends to be a character of few words.
Right.
So because she gonna talk with them balls, that's what she gonna do.
Actually, I will take that back. I do remember Chris Statlander promo. When they were doing the TBS title tournament, even like before Mercedes came, and she cut a promo about how she should have been in it and she wasn't. Ruby Soho actually beat her to advance, and people actually booed Ruby because people really got behind Chris in that promo. I can't remember all of the specifics, but I do remember it was a solid promo that actually got Chris um, some favor at the time.
That's true, but that's one out of how many years she's been there?
Yeah, and she's been there 6 years, so I get what you mean.
Like, she just a motherfucker about that action. Even with the whole alien thingy, she was still about that action.
How many stars you give this one?
The meters, I mean, a two. We knew Mercedes was gonna win. I mean, I'm surprised you even reviewed it because I was just gonna go next. But then again,
Well,
we kind of knew what was happening there.
Chris Statlander got her comeuppance. Mina Mina was in the match and Mina danced. 4 stars.
Oh gosh.
Yes. Bandito, Bro Ditto, I should say, comprised of Bandito and Brody Burger King, defeated Kazuchika Okada and Korkutska take Shida to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships in 27 minutes 25 seconds. And this match was essentially waiting for the bomb to go off, I would say.
Yes.
It was basically a 27-minute match where you were saying, okay, so when is Okada going to attack Konosuke? When is Konosuke going to attack Okada? Who's taking the L here?
Yes.
I will give Okada the credit. He did take the L on this one. Protecting, Konosuke a bit because, the championship he's holding is, obviously more prestigious than the one that Okada's holding. So I definitely give him that. Again, they could have did this in half the time and it still would have been just as effective. I digress. It is what it is. But I will say that the payoff was satisfying. I'll give them that it was satisfying. What say you, Khalid?
Okada only is the intercontinental champion, whatever the hell it is now. He gets 30, but off that. But and it also made sense he took the pin because now it has Konosuke thinking like this motherfucker. So that's the thing. I like the fact that it's taking turns where one can blame the other for the downfall, right?
Right.
And you saw that tension like pop up Wednesday. So it's gonna get it's there. We're just waiting on it's like a champagne cork. You're just waiting on the shit to pop off.
How many stars do you give this one?
It was a good build up. So 4.5, because we knew what was going to happen, but just to see, not actually showing character now, kind of showing a little depth since he's been is good.
Kaliko, you're breaking up a lot. Can you hear me, Kaliko?
Oh.
Kaliko, you're you're really. Oh. Can you hear me? Kaliko?
Hello?
Yeah, you sound better.
Yes, I can hear you. There it is.
Could you repeat?
Probably going through some stupid death spot.
Could you repeat what you
I
said?
said 4.5. 4.5 because Okada showed some depth and character. I think this is like their best. It's their best character work because it's like neither is the face and neither is the heel. It's just two people hating each other right now. They can't stand each other, and that always works.
I give it a 4. Just because I would have given it 4.5 if it was maybe a little less long. But you knew that something was going to happen, and it did actually happen. So that was, kudos to AEW for actually, committing to it.
Yeah, it could have went left. Shit.
Yeah. But again, just a little too long for my taste. Alright, got so into Chris Statlander, we forgot to do, Meltzer reviews. So, Chris Statlander, Timeless Tony Strong. 3.25.
Higher.
3.5.
Higher.
4.25.
4.
4. Okay.
See, we all agree.
Mercedes and Mina, 4 1/4.
Lower.
Ooh. Okay. 3 7/5.
Lower.
3 1/4.
3 1/4.
Okay. And this Bandito versus Okada and Konosuke. 5.
5. You cheat, man.
You said it was gonna come where it didn't, where I wouldn't maybe expect it, so I went for it.
Hell, we got 2 more matches. It could have came in. Shit.
Yeah, there was no way Paige and Joe got 5. Darby and Moxley, that's probably going to be like 6.5 or something.
We'll see.
We'll yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Alright, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. Hangman Page won in 27 minutes 25 seconds to retain the AEW World Championship. Honestly, if any match deserved to be as long as it did, this was definitely it. It did seem like a proper World Championship match. Obviously, Joe is. Even if you know Joe isn't gonna win, you never know if Joe's gonna lose. And I can make the argument that Joe didn't necessarily lose this match. So I actually thought that it was a good match that showed Joe off very well, showed Paige very well as a babyface character. So honestly,
Yeah, I mean, it was the right opponent, and Styles makes fights, and it showed them both in a great light. Joe came up short, but Joe, being Joe, he may lose the match, but he's walking out.
right.
Bitch ain't walking out. He's like, I may lose, but bitch, I'm walking out. And that's exactly what happened. And I must admit, that was a good swerve. That was a really good swerve. Because you didn't see it coming.
Right. It kind of seemed like they were doing the, give Joe his flowers moment, and then it just turned so ugly so fast. And you kind of love it because you love Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but only Joe could pull that off to make it ugly and make you want to boo him.
Right.
Because Joe, and especially when he's like talking, he's gonna make that promo personal. He's gonna make the reason he did it hella personal.
Oh yeah. Do you not remember when he cut Wardlow's man bun off? Like, that was such a personal attack. And honestly, it didn't go anywhere because, injuries and whatnot. But, I mean, yeah, it was definitely, Joe knows how to get under people's skin.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it.
So, good on Joe. How many stars you give it?
Decent championship match. Great turn. 4.5. I'll give it a 4.5.
I will give it. With the heel turn, I'll give it 4.5. I don't think I ever gave Hangman Page a 4.5 star match, but obviously Samoa Joe is just too good not to acknowledge him. So.
Yeah, acknowledge him.
Yeah.
The only Samoan that's not in the bloodline.
Exactly. Okay, so Uncle Dave. 4.5?
Lower.
4?
Higher.
4.25.
4.25, boy.
Uncle Dave. And that brings us to the last match, the main event. I guess it was the thing that everybody wanted to see. The I Quit match between Debbie Allen and neo-Nazi Mox Cecilin. It was 25 minutes, 25 seconds. Like I said, it was maybe more games for them than it could have been. And that's saying something because they tried to drown Darby Allin. We got an appearance by the Ghost of Sting, which was kind of cool. Definitely got a pop. I hated the fact that there was no microphone, that you couldn't hear the person say "I quit." It was just, when the referee calls for the bell, you know that he said "I quit." You're supposed to hear the person say "I quit." That's why there's a fucking microphone. So I didn't necessarily like that. But considering that Missouri saved both these guys' lives, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. So I'll give them that. What say you, Cliff?
You mean the collateral damage wouldn't have been as bad as it could?
Right. I thought that if this match ended, with no constraints, Darby puts Moxley's head into the fish tank, and then he uses the taser to shock the water with Moxley's head in it.
Yes. Which you would think that would be something to keep a motherfucker out for like a week.
I mean, at least a week.
But what does Moxley do? Good old reliability.
Reliable Mox.
Oh well. Oh well. I mean, the fact that this match even happened is to me like, okay. Motherfucker was in a motherfucker bounced off the coffin like a basketball and got through in a fucking body bag, and all of a sudden now he's in a I Quit match with the same motherfucker who he tasered a nigga in a fish tank with water, and then 3 days later he's back in the bitch. I mean, these motherfuckers, these motherfuckers like Wolverine. They out here healing like Wolverine in this bitch.
They're inhuman.
So,
I mean, do you, in your opinion, the crowd was chanting "This is Mordor." Do you consider that a good chant or a bad chant in pro wrestling terms?
Name a Moxley match in which "This is murder" hasn't been chanted.
Yes, true, but do you find "This is Mordor" as a chant a positive chant or a negative chant?
I would think it's a positive because no police is actually coming out to help them. When you got a crowd chanting "This is murder" and the cops are not intervening, I guess that's a good thing.
I mean, it's a good thing for the person committing the murder, I'd say. But
yeah, and that's so good for the victim.
I kind of interpret it as the crowd kind of admitting that what they're seeing is kind of phony. If that makes sense.
Far-fetched.
Yeah, like, okay, you're...
Admitting is too far-fetched even for wrestling standards.
Right. So, the crowd is chanting "This is Mordor" because this is way too far-fetched to actually believe could actually be something. Just, just my opinion.
Kind of. I mean, that's kind of true. Because, I mean, in a buried alive match, that's practically murder, and no one yelled, "This is murder."
But also, the person in the match is dead, technically dead to begin with. So,
But at least Taker went away for like 3 months.
right. It took him a while to dig himself out.
No shit. And at least he showed a hand like, God damn, I ain't dying, but I'll come back eventually. Not 3 days later like Jesus up in this bitch.
He's a neo-Nazi, he's not Jesus, Kaliko.
I mean, him and Darby, they both come back 3 days. They're like, Jesus. Shit. They both pulling that Jesus Cristo.
I kind of felt like the ending was a bit flat too, if I'm being honest. Because, I mean, again, we got to see the ghost of Sting, which was kind of cool, if I'm being honest. And Darby ended with doing a scorpion deadlock on Mox. It kind of seemed like after all the dumb shit that they went through, that him saying I quit to, a simple, you know, submission lock, it kind of seemed a bit out of character. I get where, they can do something incredibly wild because of, standards and practices.
I resent that because what didn't Hangman hang a motherfucker over the fucking top rope with a goddamn leash and chain? I mean, come on.
But that wasn't in Missouri. I'm saying that they had to show constraint because they were in Missouri.
I don't know. I mean, constraint in the sense of them not bleeding themselves to death. Not in constraint of storytelling. They put a fucking fish tank with a taser. What more?
No, they didn't taser the fist tank. I thought that was going to be the end. It wasn't the technical
Yeah,
end.
but that's my point. Like, the fact that was there, the leash over the top rope, is the least of the concern. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, what are we talking about here, Willis?
So, how many stars do you give this one?
I mean, like I said, this match shouldn't have been a thing in the first place. I mean, it feels like every match Moxley and Allen has been blow-off matches.
Somebody's blowing off, but it's not them. If you know what I mean.
So, I mean, Sting came back 3.5. There you go.
That's your reasoning.
That's the rationale.
The rationale.
Sting made a pop. Sting popped his ass in there with his white hair, looking like he popped in like a crow version of Raiden. Okay, 3.5.
2.5. Nothing made sense. It was violent, even though they had to constrain their violence, and it doesn't end after this. So for all that reasons, I'm out. Turn the chair around.
How dare you give Sting 2?
I'm not giving Sting 2. I'm giving Darby and Mox 2.
Sure.
I mean, Sting's appearance bumped it up to 2.5. So I mean, he did give it a bump.
Yeah, that's me. At least I gave Sting 3. Sting, I gave you 3.
Okay, Uncle Dave. Thinking. 4.5.
Lower.
4.
Higher.
4.25.
That good old quarter, yep.
Fuck me with these quarters. Alright. Show as a whole. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I mean, it was a cool show. I mean, it had some good highlights, and it had some cool, and it had some repetitive matches. It's just a mix, the blend. So, to me, it was in the middle.
I will agree with that. The good shit that they actually did, and they did actually deliver some good shit, was good. But the bad shit is obviously going to be bad.
All bad, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright. That will conclude our coverage of AEW WrestleDream. And we are wrestling with NXT Halloween Havoc. It was last Saturday, in Prescott Valley, Arizona, at the David Finley Toyota Center. And yeah, if you're talking about a crazy, unpredictable, wild ride of a show, this was definitely it. Definitely not expect a lot of what happened to happen, and I'm not entirely sure if it was a good thing or a bad thing. But what say you, Kaliko? What did you think was the show as a whole?
Oh, that shit was shocked the shit out of me. I mean, some of it we kind of saw happen, but some of it I was like, oh shit, they actually pulled that trick.
Well, let's get into it.
So,
Oh,
it's gonna be, yeah, let's go. Let's get into it. Because yeah.
we got Javon Evans and Leon Slater defeating Mr. Iguana and La Parka in 17 minutes and 56 seconds. If I had to say one thing about this match is probably this was the worst match that I've seen all year. It's the worst match that I've seen in recent history, honestly. Nothing. Wow. I love all the guys in the match. I'm kind of digging this La Parka. What version of La Parka are we on? The third, the fourth, the fifth? La Parka?
18th. It could be. It's not the La Parka we know.
Yeah. Not the, that shimmy La Parka that we got in WCW. The chairman.
The OG La Parka. That's the greatest La Parka. We need to do a Mount Rushmore of La Parka. But I think there's only one Mount more La Parka, which is La Parka in WCW. Motherfucker was swinging that chair like Jeff Jarrett was out here swinging guitars. So he understood the assignment.
So, just to get back to what I was saying, I love all the guys in this match, and nothing, like, it was like wrestling a shadow, or it was like wrestling the Invisible Man. Nothing was connecting, and the things that were connecting weren't connecting the way that they needed to connect. And there was literally a spot where Javon and Iguana are supposed to have like this, run-ins with each other, and they completely miss each other entirely. It was just a really bad match. I don't think it was anybody's fault, if I'm being honest. It was not a good day in the office for these guys. Maybe the heat got to the Iguana. Who knows?
La Yesca, how dare you?
Well, what say you, Kaliko?
I mean, the whole purpose of the match was to get Slater and Javon over as a tag team. Because it seems like to me they're going to be the tag team next against Dark Slate to avenge the Hardys, quote unquote. So it was meant more for that, and I could see it being a bad day at the office for impromptu, right?
Right.
So it did what it was supposed. The result happened the result happened, and that's the main thing. How they got there was a bit wonky. So yeah, I mean it happens, right?
Right.
Bad day at the office, just not good chemistry. I mean,
How many stars you give it?
it's a beginner. 2.5.
I give it.
Well, you said it's the worst thing ever. Period. History. Period.
It's the worst match in recent history, in recent memory, I should say. So, I am going to give it a 0.
Whoa!
I'm sorry.
Our first 0?
It was again. I like everybody in the match. It did not work. This was not. It was not it. And I could forgive a botch. I could even forgive it if there was a botch here or there. But when the botches become so prevalent that it kind of destroys the whole vibe of the match, you can't necessarily undo that.
Well, I guess you'll be happy from the info that I heard.
From Uncle Dave.
No, not from Uncle Dave, but the biggest thing is that they want JV now on the main roster, and Sean's like he needs a year.
After that match,
He wants.
I agree. No, Javion needs to stay. Javion is not ready for prime time, in my opinion. He's almost there, but he needs time to cook, in my opinion.
A little bit more time.
Yep.
Get that medium well steak.
Yeah.
Raw.
There's some good flavors there, but you need more time to cook to get all them good flavors.
Let it marinate.
Did Uncle Dave review this up?
Yes.
How, 1.5.
He didn't give it a 0. That's for damn sure.
1.5?
Higher.
2?
Higher.
2.25?
2 and 3 stars. 2 and 7/5.
Damn. What did Uncle Dave give? See that I didn't.
I told you. The result happened the way it result. It's wonky. It was literally the impromptu match. It was like we looking for somebody to fight, and Mr. Iguana just pops out and go, "Yeah, we'll fight you."
All right. Ethan Page defended the NXT North American Championship in a Day of the Dead match, whatever that is, against Al
Yeah, de los Muertos.
Oh no, it's in English. It's Day of the Dead. He defended against Al Hido D. Del Wagner, Dr. Wagner Jr. Page won in 18 minutes 22 seconds. I don't think we ever got a clear view of what the rules of a Day of the Dead match was. But it was kind of like like when you go bowling, but it's like everything is like under a black light. It kind of had that vibe to it, so They had good chemistry. What they did was good. It was violent without getting like too violent. I dare say that this was maybe the best match on the card, in my opinion. What say you, Kaligo?
I mean, it was a Day of the Dead because Ethan Page almost killed his career ripping that damn mask. But it did the right thing. It got the heat on Ethan, continues the domination of him as the quote unquote North American champion.
The greatest North American ever.
Yes. So it got him over. I mean, yeah, because you gotta conquer Mexico too to be the greatest North American ever, right?
Right.
Because Mexico's part of North America. So yeah. So the result came really good. I like how Ethan can get violent without killing himself, Moxley and Darby. But yeah. Because but then again, it fits his character because he wants the result, but he ain't gonna go through all that bullshit. Just do a couple of things here and there. If shortcut was a definition, it's him.
I mean, it's funny you bring up, Darby Allin. The dent in Darby Allin has a dent in his head, and that dent is from Ethan Page. So. Yeah, Darby understands that logic because Ethan Page has fucked him up in the past. Without, obviously fucking himself up.
Yeah, if anybody knows that, he's like shit.
Right. Honestly, I would say that out of all the title reigns currently going on right now, at least for the men, Ethan Page is kind of on fire right now. He's kind of like the champion to watch.
Because he's doing the thing that you need him to do. Make him boo you.
Right. How many stars do you give it?
I mean, it's a solid 4.
I agree with that. 4 stars. Alright. Blake Monroe defeated Zarya to capture the NXT Women's North American Championship in 11 minutes 4 seconds. Talk about doing exactly what you need to do. Blake Monroe is the villain that you need her to be. Zarya was that, that friend under pressure that's trying to be a good friend. Sol Ruka is that friend that's trying to be supportive, but, bitch, you lost my championship. So, I mean, they're cooking here. There's definitely a lot of cooking going on in this. And, I don't want to say that this was the start of it, but it definitely progressed that story line between the three of them. I'm assuming that we will see Blake and Sol somewhere down the line. But yeah, this did. I think whether or not Sol was injured, it was still going to be Blake. And I think that Blake is going to do very well as the North American champion. That promo she did on Tuesday, I should say, was honestly absolute fire. She's continuing being the glamour / the woman from hell. And obviously, the issues between Zarya and Sol, continue. But what say you, Kaliko?
Well, the whole point of her is just being the bitch that splits Sol Ruka. And people thought that Sol went heel when she tried to push Zarya in the thing. Boy, they were like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, I mean, she just popped her shoulder back in. Honestly, even with Soul being hurt, I think with Soul being hurt, the right woman won. Because I could have saw if Soul had fought Blake, I think Blake would have lost.
Okay.
And I think it would have just furthered the cement. But the fact that Soul was injured and Zarya lost it, it actually adds the layer of Soul trying to get herself back as fast as possible. And she's already had to give up the speed title, so that tells me that she must be hurt. Or it might be a work. But then again, usually when it comes to these injuries, it's when it's real, they'll say something.
Right.
Or no. I mean, yeah, when it's real, they'll say something. Big time. So that's why I don't think it is. So maybe Soul's gonna turn on Zarya eventually. I mean, she started off as a heel, so it wasn't like,
I feel like Zarya should go heel on Soul because Soul is over. I mean, she's over as a babyface, and I'm sorry, Zarya is not over as a face or a heel. She's kind of just little buddy to Soul, and she needs to kind of be her own person in order to get over, or she's going to get released, in my opinion. So it has to be Zarya that turns on Soul. And I mean, who is going to believe that Soul could? Obviously Zarya is a lot bigger than Soul. So I mean, you have the monster heel versus the smaller babyface.
But I think it would be Soul because the whole point of all of this is for Blake is basically saying that Zarya is not the it thing. It's basically because she's different. And her losing the championship just gives Soul more of a reason to leave.
Yeah, more. I mean, Soul has a right to be bitchy about Zarya losing the title for her, but it seems like, Zarya is being more emotional about it than Soul.
Well, that makes sense because Zarya has more guilt feeling about it, which would make sense in the sense that Soul's like, okay, I ain't gonna get mad. I'm just gonna get even.
I'm still under the impression that Zarya has to turn on Soul. Like I said, Soul's over, Zarya's not. And the way you get over it is by, fucking up somebody that is over and popular. And Soul is both those things. How many stars you give this one?
It was a good story. Blake got the dub, which was a shocker to me. I mean, not really shocking. We kind of saw it coming. 3.5. I give it 3.5.
I agree with that. 3.5. Alright, talking about shockers, Tatum Paxley defeated JC Jane to become the NXT Women's Championship champion in 16 minutes and 28 seconds. Talk about did not see that coming. But I mean, that's kind of been the story when it comes to the NXT Women's Championship. I mean, nobody necessarily saw JC beating, Stephanie, especially considering who Stephanie is. I mean, when we did do a preview of this show, so we kind of said cut and dry. It was pretty cut and dry. JC gets a W. Not as cut and dry as you would think, I guess. I think it was a nice surprise. It was definitely a good match, I'd say that. It told a story, Paxley needing her people, JC needing her people, Paxley getting kind of the advantage of that. And, yeah, I think it all necessarily worked. And obviously the biggest story right now is Paxley versus Izzy Dame. So, and I guess that's where they're going with it. But what say you, Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. What I've been saying about JC, even her whole title run, is that she's a beatable champion. Right. So I never really. That's the biggest thing that I liked about JC is that she was a shit talker, yet she was also a beatable champ. It wasn't like a dominant reign like the core, right?
Right.
And any given night it can happen, and that night, and it just happened to be that any given night. Now it looks crazy because Tatum did it as Tatum did it as the person trying to figure out who the hell she is, right? Like that's the crazy part. It's like, oh, she's trying to find herself, and she fucks around and finds a championship. And Izzy Dave is like, bitch, you just got here and I didn't get this? Oh, hell no. And you saw that the moment she won. It was like, this bitch. Oh, it's happening. It's just a matter of when at this point.
Oh, yeah. And even on Tuesday, the board, the spin the wheel, make the deal. Izzy's name wasn't on the board, and that really rubbed Izzy the wrong way.
Oh yeah, it did. So it's just funny. But now Tatum's a champ. Let's see what she does. It seems like she's the. I mean, they're making her like a happy fighting champ. And that might work because it'll work in the sense that she's fighting everybody except her.
Right.
Which pisses her off even more, that makes sense.
How many stars do you give this one?
Running through the roster except for her.
Because they're friends and friends don't fight. According to Paxley.
Alright, Izzy like, watch me, bitch.
I'm happy for Paxley because, she did get this little nice, character redemption arc. And, she has had a couple of bangers with multiple people. I mean, this match including. I just don't necessarily see Izzy Dane as a good challenger for her. I mean, obviously the rivalry is there. But when it comes to match quality, I don't think that it's going to be as good of a match quality as it could be. Because Izzy is maybe a little bit more green than some of the other girls.
Well, I mean, that gives her a chance to improve up until then, right? So let's just say she's doing this spin the wheel every week and it's not going, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a litany of girls that, or litany of women, rather, that Tatum can get through before it gets to Izzy.
That is true. I mean, it could. We don't know when Izzy's going to turn on her. Would you say
Right,
that?
and at this point, Sean and them are all on protect, and that's the other thing because it could also prove Izzy to leave the group because everyone's trying to protect Tatum.
Would you say April is going to be when we see Stand and Deliver? Uh, Dane versus Paxley?
Unless I mean, I think they usually have one for the. Nah, yeah, it'll have to be Stand and Deliver because the Rumble's in fucking Riyadh this season. Never mind. Yeah, it's gonna have to be April. Unless they're doing an NXT in the States. Shit.
I mean, that's a good possibility. How many stars do you give this one?
It's a fucking shocker 4. A shocking 4. Because I didn't know nobody saw this shit coming. Even when Tatum got the pin, it was like a cricket. Like, oh shit.
No, I agree. It was a 3.5-star match with a half a star bump because you did not see that shit coming.
Did not see that shit coming at all. Was not on the bingo card. I mean, but then again, JC Jane as champion was not on the bingo card, so it kind of worked itself out.
Right. Balance.
Balance indeed.
Okay. We've in all the excitement, we forgot to do Uncle Dave for the last 2 dream matches.
So let's see, which one did we not?
Did we do the Day of the Dead match for Dave?
No. Nope.
Okay. Gonna say we and Dave are vibing. 4 stars.
Higher.
4.25.
4.25, see?
Okay, so Uncle Dave.
I mean, we were all vibing on it. I think we were all vibing on that one, so yeah.
Blake Monroe and Zaria Dree.
Higher.
3.5.
3.5. See, we all were vibing. We're all, look at this. It's clearly after Halloween. It's clearly Halloween weekend because all of us vibing on the same.
It's a paranormal activity.
I know. It's like Dia de los Muertos, see, which is today. Told you.
Yeah, All Saints Day. And Paxley and Jane. 3.5.
Higher.
3 7/5.
3 7/5.
Alright. Broken. Oh, let me pronounce this more properly. Broken rules match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Dark Cake, Dion Lennox, Oasis Griffin, Cutlery James, and Secure Sugars defeated Broken Hardys, Brother Nero, and Broken Matt Hardy in 19 minutes and 8 seconds. Honestly, this was just kind of like a clusterfuck of what the fuck that it took 4 guys to be the Hardys. And, I mean, I get that they're, protecting the Hardys for obvious reasons. They're the Hardys. But I didn't think that they needed to go, that insane that it was a 4-on-2 match. I felt like the Hardys could have had somebody to, kind of come and help them, but it was not to be. I mean, there was a couple of nice, spots in the match, crazy spots. But I can't really get behind Dark State as a faction, as human beings, as anything. They're just kind of fucking annoying. Like, they're Gen Z Shield. Like, they they're that's what they're trying to be, and they are no Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or Jon Moxley. You know what I mean?
I get it, but I mean, it only made sense all four of them helped because keep in mind, half of them lost it. So you see, so you got to have a whole foe to beat a solid two, and it gets the heat. That was the whole point. The whole point is to get the heat on them, and the match did that. The win did that. The manner in which they did that. Jeff Hardy fucking thudding through goddamn tables did that. I mean, but once they went broken, I knew this shit was over. So I'm like, they won the shit without broken. Why the fuck did they need to go broken?
Because they weren't in pain.
Yes, but I mean, it served its purpose in a mean to get Dark State through the roof as far as people hating them.
I don't feel like I hate Dark State for the reasons that they want me to hate Dark State.
I don't think they care about the reason you hate Dark State.
I mean, they've only been there like 6 months at best, and they kind of already have go-away heat with me.
Which makes it even better, because you want to see them get their asses kicked and go away. And the more that they're there, the more you're going to be resentful, and the more you're going to want them to go away, and see how this builds. Build up.
I mean, I know, but...
Brother?
I mean, I get what you mean. I really do, but again, they're so annoying. Especially the sugar guy. But I guess that's... But like you said, it is kind of doing what they're supposed to do, and, you want them making you hate them, so... I mean, I reluctantly agree with you on that. So, yeah.
I mean, I get it. I mean, it's okay to be indifferent about Dark State. However, the reaction when they won did exactly what the hell it was supposed to do.
How many stars you give this one?
It's interesting because the Hardys actually look good. And I don't want to poo-poo that. 4, because the story was basically Dark State doing what they need, any means, going Malcolm X by any means necessary to beat a legendary group in the Hardys, and the Hardys got protected because, they got jumped, and it ain't like they got, homies in there that can help them. So, yeah, it made sense.
Funny you say that they didn't have homies. Like, they literally have so many homies that could have helped them, and they didn't.
What homies were going to help them in NXT?
Shannon Moore. Shannon Moore.
The fact that you have pulled that first name out your ass, no.
Okay, then how about Javon Evans and Leon Slater?
Well, they necks were hurting from botching shit in the fuck. I mean, it's a struggle, my man. Now, I told you I think that they are going to be next in line for the titles due to the fact that they were both marking out after the Hardys, and what better way to try to make the Hardys proud than to avenge the Hardys' loss? See? It all works out.
There you go. I give it. I give it a 3.5. 3.5. The Hardys did look good, and like it was like Hardys of old, so that was nice. But Dark State taking the W, and the way that they took the W, wasn't necessarily a fan. All right, and not bring. Oh, Uncle Dave. Uncle Dave.
Yeah. Damn, that was a good Macho Man.
I was gonna say, but our Macho Man was on point tonight. Oh,
Shit. Proud of myself.
let's see. 3 7/5.
There.
4.25.
4.25. See, I thought he gave it a 4.25.
Okay. The last match, the main event, NXT Championship match. Ricky Saints defeated Trick Williams in 16 minutes and 48 seconds. I don't.
Indeed. Xerxes beat Trick Williams. That's
It's kind of weird, if I'm being honest, because this has kind of been the story of Ricky Saints' matches as of late. Like, he gets the shit kicked out of him, and, like, it seems like he's on the fence and he's going to lose, and then he hits, like, one random move, and he wins, and that's kind of... It's kind of out of nowhere, and he wins, and it's just like, oh, he won, rather than, yay, he won.
he said, oh, he won. He said, oh, he won, instead of like, yay.
Yeah, because you're not, like, it just kind of comes out of nowhere, because he kind of hits, like, one random move, and it's over, and you're like, oh, it's over now.
Like, it's over?
Right. Like, you would think it would take, like, a little bit more to take down, Oba Fleming or Trick Williams, but, I mean, no. Only took those two moves.
Clearly, Trick is not happy about that.
No, he is not. I mean, I like Ricky Saints. I mean, I love Ricky Starks. Like, I feel like, Trick is firing on all cylinders right now. And it just kind of seems like Ricky is just going on his contractually obligated, NXT Championship match, if that kind of makes sense.
Oh, God.
I'm not necessarily feeling it. I think that's maybe because Ricky is maybe a better heel than he is face. So it's not maybe connecting as well as it could.
True.
What say you, Calico?
I mean, just the way Booker T was calling the match, it just was like,
Right.
It just made it seem like Ricky was not that dude. Which, I mean, hey, they can make that case and they can make that argument, but I mean, it's just the way that they presented it. And as much as I mean, as much as we want, it's Ricky Saints' show. Because Trick really ain't got no, no. I mean, if he wins it, what does he gain, right?
Right.
Because he's at the point where he really doesn't need the belt, but he's the only viable heel contender for the belt. If that makes sense.
Right. I mean, Josh Briggs went for it. He lost. I only think that Josh has the charisma to actually be in the main event, if I'm being honest. Jasper Troy, Ricky already slayed that beast.
Yeah.
So, what is left to be done?
I mean, I could probably give you an idea of what's going to happen, but we're going to go offline on it.
I got you.
But, because I kind of got an idea of where it's going to go. But, yeah, so in between time, it's Ricky era. It's the era of the Stark. Or Saints in this affair.
Yeah.
It's the era of Dia de los Santos. See what I did there?
I got you.
Da-na.
That being said, how many stars you give this?
Oh my God, it was a 3. It was not the best for Ricky Saints. I mean, it wasn't his best. Because, I mean, he got the win over Oba, but maybe with this last man standing match, maybe he'll get some people behind him. Let's hope that becomes the case. I mean, that's pretty much the best we could hope for in this scenario.
I mean, I could even make this, and I mean, that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is that this actually turns people against Ricky. And they have...
If he turns heel, people are not going to be,
No, not turn Ricky heel, but Ricky being a face and the people aren't necessarily digging it. And the crowd starts to boo him. Rumor and innuendo suggests that Ricky's supposed to hold on to that championship for quite some time. And I wonder if that would, hinder those plans somewhat.
well, I might as well get it out now. According to some of that might be subject to change, because remember when we had the conversation of Sir Javion?
Right.
I brought it up to one of the guys. I was like, he seems like when they're trying to hold him back, and I was like, I like the fact that he can have a good match with anybody, and it would make sense for him to stay and be the champion, because he would be a champion where his style would go along with everyone. And he told me to count the days, quote unquote.
So count the days in a good way, or count the days in a hold your breath?
Well, count the days is in count the days. I don't want to give it too much away.
So I mean, that's kind of the route that they should have went, honestly.
I mean, honestly, yeah, they should have definitely. I mean, personally, when he should have been the one to beat Oba, because that crowd was ready for it.
I mean, they dusty popped the shit out of him.
Yeah, they did. They did. But hey, I mean, that's it's part of the game. Part of the game.
Yeah, I agree. 3 stars. This match didn't really do anybody favors. I think that it got Ricky. I think it digressed Ricky rather than get him over. And, I don't think Tripp, benefited anything from the match as well. So it just kind of was the main event because there was no really viable options.
That's true.
Show as a whole, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle.
I mean, the middle. It had some hella shockers, but it also had some. The main event was like, So, yeah, you gotta. The same way AEW was that way, so was Halloween Havoc.
Like we said for AEW, the good shit was good, but the bad shit was equally
horrible.
As bad.
Or confusing, or
Right. Uncle Dave, he gave the main event 2 7/5.
You think 2 7/5? He gave it higher than 2 7/5.
3 1/4.
3 1/4, you cheater.
I mean, if you just go by quarters and 7/5, then you're likely to get there. Alright, that will conclude our coverage of NXT Halloween Havoc. And we are wrestling with WWE Saturday Night Main Event. It's later today, and 4 matches. I kind of feel like this is more cut and dry than usual, but that's maybe just me. Let's get into it. Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio defense against Penta and Russo. Who wins?
Let's see. Dominic farms his way to victory. It's got to be Dominic.
Oh, yeah.
So Dominic, especially with the loss of the tag team titles by Finn. So Finn's got some shit to get to. Some pettiness to get to.
I agree. Dom for the W. Next match is interesting, but I don't see it necessarily going anywhere. WWE Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill. I personally think that this ends in disqualification. I don't think Tiffany's going to take an L on this one. But
what do I think? Jay turning heel, it has to turn into a championship win. I'm always of the fact you just don't turn no one heel just to do it. You do it for a purpose, and what is the purpose? It's either a purpose or a payoff.
But can you see it happening on the show?
Yes. I mean, because let's just go break it down. Let's just break it down. All right? Let's just break this down. Dominic's not losing, we assume, right?
What?
We both assume Cody's not losing, right?
I would assume not, yeah.
The only 2 matches that have the wow factor is the Uso Punk match and this match. Me personally, I think the Uso Punk match will not have a winner.
I mean, I agree with that, but we'll get to there when we get there.
So that leaves you got something's got to happen to make the crowd be like, what the fuck? And it's either Finn betrays Dominic in the triple threat, or Jade beats Tiffy.
So you're going with Jake for the W.
Oh yeah, because who's going to be the next challenger for Tiffy?
I mean, that I definitely don't know. But, I mean, Cargill has wrestled her like 2 times already. So, I mean, yes, she just turned heel. So, I mean, it gives her extra motivation this time around. But, I don't think that you pull the trigger on a random Saturday night main event. I think that you save this for um maybe Survivor Series, um maybe Rumble. There's not going to be a pay preview in December, so
We knew of yet. Actually, it's Saturday night main event. So
right. John Cena's last match, but I don't see
right.
anybody doing anything on that show other than John Cena.
John
So,
Cena gonna try to show his ass off. That's what he's gonna
so I don't see Jade winning this match, but I don't see Tiffany taking the W, so I say it ends in disqualification. Or double count out. However you like to say it. Alright, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed Championship. We both kind of agree Cody Rhodes wins, right?
Yeah, because now the top of the card needs stability with no Seth.
And that brings us to the main event, the vacant World Heavyweight Championship match, CM Punk versus Jey Uso. I agree with you. I think that we're not going to be crowning a championship champion on this show. I think Breakker and I think the Bronze are going to interfere, and Jey Uso aligns with the Vision to form his own little mini bloodline with Paul Heyman and Either that or Jey Uso de facto just wins.
I don't think for both sides there's one big concern. I have a big concern for either side.
Okay.
My concern for Punk is that Punk could possibly join the Vision, or Punk could get a new nemesis from the Vision, i.e., a new member in the Vision. That's my biggest concern there, because it could be Brock. It could be Brock.
Well, I mean, I don't.
I think.
Oh, continue.
I get it. You don't see Brock joining the Vision. I don't think Brock is going to do it either. I just see it more as a mercenary thing.
That I could see, like a one-off, just to help Paul, because there are
a favor, because keep in mind, they never really got to the bottom of what they needed to quote unquote talk about, right?
No, that was when he announced him at WrestlePalooza.
Man, that's just one. You don't do that without. Paul's not doing that for free.
Oh yeah.
So that's my point, right?
You announced me at WrestlePalooza, I'll fuck some people up for you.
There you go. Something's got to pay off. So that's my biggest concern with Punk. My biggest concern with Jay is Roman.
Okay.
Because Roman, even though Jay got a taste of this, and Roman is okay with Jay being a taste of this, I just don't see, unless Roman is going to SmackDown, I cannot see Roman just playing second fiddle to Jay getting to the top.
I mean, that would be it, wouldn't it? He would have to humble Jay. You know, little brother, this is how it goes. You know, you were only the right hand because I made you the right hand.
Yeah, but keep in mind, I mean, Roman's been slowly trying to get back to the Roman of old. Cutting the promos, walking up the ramp, all that shit. He's slowly getting the mojo back. Now, does that mojo come at the expense of Jay Uso? It could be possibly. It was funny because I mean, there's still an issue there with Jimmy because Jimmy is rather pissed, and Jimmy is also another factor in the sense that Jimmy is personally. I think this shit's gonna end in chaos, and I already know that Jimmy and Roman are literally fighting for the sole custody of Jay's conscience. And Jay is slowly getting to that dark side. And people are like, Jimmy's like this third fiddle, but I personally think Jay is right where needs to be morally, because everything that he said, me personally, everything he said 2 years ago has come to fruition.
Right.
And I mentioned that when I called in on Busted Open too. I told him, I was like, they're like, why are they booing him after the music? It's like, well, and I told Bully, this is what I told Billy, you got to think about what Jimmy has been saying, and everything Jimmy has been saying is being proven right slowly. Now, Bully tried to go, you think they're booing them from something from 2 years ago? No, I don't think that they're doing that. I'm just saying that is the root, and now that root is finally planted. That tree is up. That tree is up. So now it's time to get back to the root, because now Jimmy's trying to get back to the root of the whole issue.
Right. Which is this, a little bit of power to Jey Uso can turn into turning him into mini Roman, as he put it.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? And I told Bully this too, and that's what when I was calling in. I said it actually worked in the story's favor that Jay's reign was short, because it was long enough for people to. It was short enough. It was long enough for people to enjoy and see it, but it was short enough for him not to be satisfied.
I agree with that 100%.
So now it's fueling that. Now he gets a taste of that sweet. It's like getting your first taste of sugar. You want more. You really, really want more. You want it. You want it now, to the point where you don't even care. His blinders are on.
Which, from where I'm going with it is that we are going to see Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, and Brock Lesnar, so 4, versus CM Punk, Roman Reigns, LA Knight, and Jimmy Uso. That's going to be our War Games match for San Diego.
Wait a minute, you said Jey Uso and Brock Lesnar?
Jey Uso, Brock Lesnar, and the Bronze versus Punk, Reigns, Jimmy, and Knight.
Ooh. They do need a fourth, but I don't think it would be. And I agree with. I would think it would be Punk, Jay, Jimmy, Roman.
So Punk, Jimmy, Jay, and Roman.
Yes.
And who is on the Vision side?
The Bronze and Brock, and I can't think of a fourth right now. I really cannot think of a fourth right now.
Well, I mean, from the logic you're going with, then it seems like LA Knight is on the Vision side. And I don't necessarily see LA Knight joining the Vision.
I wouldn't say he's joining the Vision, but it ain't like he's cool with the other side as well.
I mean, true, but didn't the Vision has put him in the hospital a couple of times, no? Or am I remembering that wrong?
I mean, yeah. I mean, shit. Bronson put Seth in the hospital, and we didn't see that shit coming. I mean, is this kind of the thing?
You put me in the hospital, I become your friend.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? But, yeah, it's gonna be tough to find that fourth. It I don't know. I mean, because and the only reason I say Jay wouldn't join the Vision, because the whole purpose of him doing all of this was for Roman. So it wouldn't make sense for him to go against him, right?
But, he's tempted by the dark side at this point. And when you're kind of in a dark place and you're, balancing the scales, so to speak, there is that little dark voice in your head, a la Paul Heyman, that will tell you, you can be Roman Reigns. You don't need Roman Reigns. You were going to be the tribal chief, but it was your brother that cost you that. When you're, mentally strong and you don't see it at that time, it's easy to, just pass it as, the wise man spewing bullshit. But when you're kind of in a dark place and you're kind of desperate, and Jay does kind of seem desperate at this point, you kind of, you take that shit in. And you kind of believe it. Especially when somebody is promising you what you ultimately want.
Well, my only retort to that is that it's Roman egging him on.
But Roman doesn't see him as he's little brother, and that's how Roman sees Jay, little brother. And
but Roman was the one. But my thing is, that Roman was the one who planted this and started all of this in the first place. So I'm thinking he has more of a control over Jay, especially considering the fact that he got put in the hospital by the Bronze. Jay literally gave up the fact that he basically risked his health being in that fatal four-way to help Roman. You see what I'm saying? So
but you go back
those factors to me.
But Jay is trying to be Roman. And what did Roman tell Jay, when in Paris? He said, this don't work this way. This only works my way.
Oh, perfect, yeah. It only works his way. Yeah.
It only works my way. And that's telling Jay that, we're not equals. It only goes my way. I'm the big gut dog in this scenario. So it makes Jay feel less than when he kind of already feels less than when he wants to be more than. You kind of understand?
Well, then the only way that can happen is if Roman becomes a heel. But then again, Roman was, I mean, me personally, Roman's neither. He's just there, and people think he's a face.
Right.
And he's not a face. He is not a face to me.
Roman is Roman, and that's kind of just it.
Right. So, to me, I mean, it makes more sense for him to get back. I mean, it is the most far-fetched shit ever, but it makes more sense for him to get back with the wise man than for Jay to get with him.
Why would he abandon real family, the bloodline, Jimmy and Jay, for somebody that isn't blood?
Well, it's not about betraying anybody. Roman has never betrayed anybody.
Is that true?
That is true. Who has Roman double-crossed?
I mean, that's a good question.
Think about it. Everything that's happened to Roman has been the one on the receiving end of the double-cross. Sammy double-crossed him. Jay double-crossed him. Jimmy double-crossed him. Seth double-crossed him. Dean double-crossed him. Heyman double-crossed him.
Then wouldn't that make more sense for Jay to double-cross him again?
I don't see. I think we'll see what happens after tomorrow. Because I think Roman and or Jimmy might have something to do with that match.
I think we're going to see the setup of
War Games
start.
Or it could be like a all men for themselves War Games, like what was the one World War III style for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
I mean,
which wouldn't be a bad idea. That would not be a bad
idea. I mean, I'm not against the idea. It'd be something new and different, but I'm strongly under the impression that Jay is going to join Division. Alright, so I'm going with either no finish or Jay wins. Where was you going? You said no winner as well, no?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a winner.
Alright.
I don't see a winner for the championship. In fact, I probably won't see a champion until the Royal Rumble.
I agree with that. That will conclude our coverage of Saturday night's main event and this episode as a whole. Thank you for listening. If you like what they're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, go down to YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we interview Big Mama. This Wednesday as we interview Vincent Caravaggio. And join us next Saturday as we interview and review the latest shows in WWE and AEW and everything. If you like what we're doing, follow the show at WrestleDream and actually on Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing, the links to those videos, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesReno. Where can we find Kaliko?
Oh man, I'm Kaliko on Twitter, Kaliko Chronicles on YouTube. The March Down is on Survivor Series. That's the next one, baby. So I'm looking so forward to it, even though there's no SmackDown listed for San Diego, which is bullshit. But that's we'll let it slide. We'll let it slide.
Let your wallet be happy for one night.
Everybody else got fucking the night before. Everybody else got to go home. Why the fuck I can't get to go home? Why the fuck our city can't get to go home?
I mean, I don't know.
Because it's Thanksgiving. That didn't stop you, motherfucker. That doesn't. I'm gonna stop. Thank you, WWE, for giving us Survivor Series in beautiful San Diego and not in cold ass Chicago. Okay. Or Vancouver. Or yeah.
For Coleco Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James Shea, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Or anywhere cold for that matter. I mean, they could have did Dodger. Next year, do Dodger Stadium. No, don't do Dodger Stadium. It's a shit show getting up there.
How about the Staples?
Damn, I don't know where. Oh God, no. It's too small. I mean, Pasadena Rose Bowl.
That would be something.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.